these seas, oh, you meant the world to me.
Said that you moved on. Where did I go wrong? I tried to make you stay, but I guess my love wasn't enough. Was it me or was it you, love? 'Cause I'm dying to know. Why do you wanna end? Was it real or just pretend? Tell me, why do you wanna end? Was he really just a friend? No sign of you at all. Just pictures on these walls, reminding me of how you threw away all that we've gone through. Was it all just a game to you? 'Cause I'm dying to know. Why do you wanna end? Was it real or just pretend? Tell me, why do you wanna end? Was he really just a friend? 'Cause it's plain in my head, every word that you said, I ain't worked it out yet. So why do you wanna end? Was it real or just pretend? If there was any sign that our love was in decline, I would have begged you not to go. I would have given even more. My heart is breaking up inside.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the second round of the second ever season of ACC GT4 here at Simsport Racing. My name's Alex Goldschmidt, and once again, pleased to have alongside me Steve Proudley. Evening, Steve. How are you, buddy?
I'm very well, thank you, Alex. Hope you're good. Looking forward to some great racing this evening. Reverse grid, and I think there's around about 24, 25 cars on the grid, so should make for some interesting manoeuvres.
Dave Hedges says, evening, Cagney and Lacey. No, sorry, mate, it's Starsky and Hutch. Evening, everyone. So Dave Hedges has already got a black mark in the book for that one, I'm afraid. But as you can see, Stephen Haley leads the way in the Aston Martin Vantage GT4 from Team Simply Race. Aaron Walker, he's got some real-life things to get on with at the moment, so he's not with us this round. Daniel Jim, who gave both of them a bit of a scare last time out. He rounds out the top three ahead of Alan Garland, who returns after a bit of a hiatus. Regan Mitchell in fifth. I know that Aaron Martin Pilkington has got other commitments at the moment, so he is elsewhere this evening. Tim Fulbrook and Michael Haffenden rounding out the top 8 positions ahead of Stin Paspont and Reece Hodges, with Adam Misalovic, Dominic Tower, Angus Martin, Gavin Utley and Charlie Crossland rounding out the top 15 positions. But Haley's got an 8-point advantage, which looks to be extended as we head into the second round of the season. And Steve, it's good to see that the top 20, even to the lower part of the order, you know, Sturjan Milasinovic, and that's the first name out of the entire Simsport Racing community that's managed to catch me out. I think I needed to put my false teeth back in there for a minute, but you know, the top 20 scoring points. But we've got a 45-minute race here at Circuit de Catalunya, Barcelona. Nearly 2.9 miles, nearly just over 4.65 kilometres. It's going to be flat out from the word go, isn't it? As now we get the formation lap underway. But Steve, just your first thoughts ahead of the first reverse grid race of Season 2 for GT4.
Yeah, I think it's, as I say, it's going to be interesting. Racecraft's going to be tested. We've got some of the faster drivers now starting towards the rear end of the grid. We've got a lot of new drivers again this season, which is fantastic to see. We've got some new drivers of differing abilities. So I think the racing's going to be fast and furious. I think it'll be clean. I don't think it's going to be easy. I think the likes of Steve Haley will make it through to the top 10, depending on incidents. May even be challenging for a podium, but that's not to say we've got fast people in the top 10 as well that maybe didn't have the best race last week, and this week they're up towards the front, so maybe they can get a gap before the likes of Mr. Haley, Alan Garland, those sort of guys can get through to the front.
Well, the grid is as follows for race 2 here in Spain. John Aegis starts from reverse grid pole ahead of Christian Hill, who is languishing a little bit down on the timing screens, but Christian Hill will line up alongside in the McLaren. Then we've got Rich Smith, Ollie Geel, Ranjiv Kelsey, Richard Pixley rounding out the top 6 positions ahead of Richard Emery with Sridan Milasinovic in 8th ahead of Chris Pinchback and Mark Neutelings rounding out the top 10. Then it's Andrew Ambrose, Charlie Crossland, Angus Martin, Dominic Tower, Adam Misalovic rounding out the top 15 ahead of Rhys Hodges, Stin Passpont, Michael Haffenden, Tim Fulbrook, Regan Mitchell rounds out the top 20. Behind them is Alan Garland and Daniel Jim, and race 1 winner Steve Haley. But now we've got Rhys Wiggin. Welcome back, Mark Raddenbury, fresh from his Dorset travels from last week. He will start in the other Team Express UK Audi in 26th ahead of Martin Foster and also Cameron Fife, who now joins us. And there's a little bit of a story that I understand, Steve, you'd like to sort of tell to the chaps and chapesses back at home.
Well, Cameron, I don't want to embarrass him too much, but I've known Cameron since he was in diapers. I was a very good friend, best friends with his dad, his late dad, and I just want to say a quick hello to his granddad Andrew, who I know is still a gamer to this day, playing Forza, and he's watching the stream, supporting Cameron in his first race with us tonight. So it's good to see Cameron, some new fresh person on the server, and I'm sure he's going to have fun, and I'm hoping he's going to be a name that sticks with us.
Right, we're about to get things underway. Good evening, James Hartnell, calling us the Chuckle Brothers. Cheeky beggar. I'm sure that we might have a few other things, but get your spelling right, please, Alex. There's an E in both those names there. Now, we get towards the start-finish line here at Circuit de Catalunya, Barcelona, for the second of 6 rounds here, and we have gone the race has gone green, and we've already got 2 drive-throughs, and it is for John Aegis and Rich Smith. They both jumped the start there, so they've got an instant drive-through, and Dave Hedges has already started the Chuckle Brothers. To you, stop it, you mate, come on, let us do what we... now someone has had... Now that was one of the KTM crossbows, and that has caused a massive off. Probably, I think that might have been Rhys Hodges, maybe, that has just gone off there. There's, there was also...
I think that was Cameron Fife, actually, that got turned around at the back end there as well. Really unlucky. But the drive-throughs from John Agnes and Rich Smith, obviously just trying to preempt that green light and just maybe a tenth or two too quick on the throttle there. So just out of position, and now they're going to have to suffer a drive-through, which is going to curtail their race, unfortunately.
Yeah, that was actually Charlie Crossland and Milasinovic that were involved there. So I did see, because Charlie Crossland is the only KTM. Let's have a look at the... they're going nearly 5 abreast. And right, okay. So Crossland gets the tap going into turn 1. The KTM gets literally punted sideways as someone's taken out some of the marker boards over the the far side of the track. But John Aegis and Rich Smith will have 3 laps, according to the system software, as per normal GT4 regulations, to pull into the pits and serve an automatic drive-through penalty. And you can now see, okay, so it is Rhys Hodges that goes towards the inside. He turns in. Charlie Crossland did not turn the car. So Rhys has gone to move. He's thought that Charlie's going to move, and Charlie's just gone no. And so as the 2 leaders... now go into the lead. This gives go into the pits. This gives Ollie Geel the leaders. There's even some argy-bargy in the pits. I'm sorry.
I'm just hoping they keep their heads now and they don't speed again in the pit lane and get a stop go or another drive through or something. That'd be a real shame. Just need to settle down and accept the penalty and just take it like a man, so to speak, and drive through and just come back out where you are and start the fight all over again.
Well, one of the drivers that's really taken an opportunity here is Tim Fulbrook. He started down in 19th. He's now up into 7th place as we have a replay here. And this is Charlie Crossland, and that was one of the Mercedes, I believe, possibly at the back part of the field. So that might, well, Regan Mitchell's got a brighter livery than that. He's got one of the brightest ones. That's one of the Ginettas. That is Richard Pixley that I think has just gone running wide in the number 7 Ginetta. So that is going to. It's just like some of these drivers are giving no quarter at all, as. Yeah, I have to say, James Hartnell, Ranjith Kelsey in 3rd. Things I didn't expect to say when I woke up this morning. I think that makes you and me both there, James. Ben Holmes on YouTube says, no pressure, Ollie. So at the moment, Gio leads from Pinchbeck in 2nd, Kelsey in 3rd, Emery, Pixley, Martin ahead of Fulbrook. And it was quite nice that both Tim Fulbrook and Michael Haffenden said, well done for the correctly recognised spot. It is a tribute to Paddock Hill Bend at Brands Hatch. And unfortunately, guys, you're not going to have it on the calendar in Season 2 at the moment, but who knows? Maybe for Season 3 we go back there if you guys have got those Paddock Hill emblazed bumpers on those BMWs, as Hafenden's trying to get past Andrew Ambro in the number 31 as they make their way through the chicane at the far part of the circuit. Well spotted there, because Ranjith Kelsey has done a number on Chris Pinchbeck, and everyone's going, is Ranjith the alien? Is Ranj from Pluto? Well, I think you might have to ask Chris Pinchbeck on that one, please, guys.
Yeah, Ranj will battle as hard as anybody, and he's a difficult man to overtake. He's our Ranj. He's not always the fastest man when it comes to hot lapping, but he's certainly got some racecraft, and he can certainly put the laps in. Just mentioning Steve Haley's obviously had a great start. He's up to 13th place, just behind Adam at the moment, and Mark Knightlin's in 11th. So Steve's had a good start, and he'll be very, very pleased with that.
Was that a run wide by Ollie Gill? I think Ranjith Kelsey, if he's lucky, might have gotten up the inside, not too sure. Now that was a Porsche definitely going wide. No, I think that might have been Ranjith Kelsey that went wide, I think, a little bit there.
That's Pinchbeck back in front of Ranjith now.
Yeah, so a bit of a wide excursion by the 47 Porsche, as Michael Haffenden has deposed of Andrew Ambro, now up into P9, with Kevin Crinchley saying, is Ranj from Pluto? And he's gone, guess not.
The other man on the move that we have to say, though, Daniel Jim, because he started well down and he's up to 6th place now, so that's an awesome start from him. He's obviously managed to take advantage of the first few incidents in lap 1 there, so yeah, fantastic start from Daniel. Yeah,
as Pixley trying to keep Haffenden at bay, as Mark Neuslings and Adam Isalovic, both in the Mercedes AMG GT4, trying to close on the number 31 Aston Martin. But the BMWs, again, seem to be very, very consistent. And through such a corner as this, you need a car that's completely balanced. And I remember seeing on, I think it was Instagram, through the official HF Impala team social media, that they were saying, yeah, we're underprepared, but we're not underexcited for this race here at Barcelona, as Haffenden sends it up the inside, through into turn 1. Gets on the brakes a bit earlier. Oh, now that was nicely done by Pixley to shut the door for Haffenden, who actually tried to, I think he tried to put the frighteners on a little bit on Pixley.
He was trying to push that door open, Alex. That's what he was trying to do. He was trying to get those headlights down the inside and a bit of intimidation to keep the door ajar, but it just didn't quite work for him. But the chase is on for Chris Pinchbeck now. He's just put the fastest lap in with a 1:54.2 in 2nd place. So he's going to be trying to chase our leader down, who's got that gap of, is it about 3 seconds on there? I can't quite see on my time.
3.358 seconds at the moment. But there has been drama for Steve Haley. He's now down in 18th position. I'm just having a look at the times. He had a Well, the last lap he had a 2-minute lap time, and he's been running in the 156.6s, so that is a 4-second difference. So I think Haley's had a bit of a moment, or he's come across other drivers, and they haven't sort of taken kindly to him trying to get past, because it's all for themselves. As Daniel Jim trying to go towards the inside of Richard Emery for 4th place. Oh, nearly a little bit of contact between the pair, but that is a very good anticipation there from Daniel Jim in the Alma Reparto Corse I nearly said Alfa Romeo there. Aston Martin, sorry. That's the problem when you get a British manufacturer name and an Italian team name. Thank you, Daniel Jim. You like to confuse people, don't you? But he's now up into 4th place. I mean, you know, we saw Richard Emery pushing, and that Audi was definitely getting a bit loose at the back end, and so it kicked out.
I was going to say, Alex, I think that, you know, the Daniel Jim, he set that move up with that little tap he gave him on the corner. He just unsettled the car and it pushed him off the line he wanted to be on, pushed Richard Emery off the line he wanted to be on, and then he found himself just drifting a little bit, lost the back end. But I mean, Daniel Jim was, you know, he was there, Rubin's racing, and he took advantage of the position that Richard Emery found himself in.
As we see the Dutch Technicolor Mercedes in the form of Mark Neutlings having got past Michael Haffenden. So that's a really good job by him. Rhys Hodges, in the meantime, is closing on the 861 BMW. And you've got Stijn Paspont, you've got Rhys Wiggin, and also Alan Garland rounding out the top 15 positions. But looking at it, the biggest gaps that I can see here, Steve, is between Gilles and Pinchbeck and Kelsey and Jim. And then you've also got Ambro and Neutlings. Everywhere else is at least 8. It's anywhere between a couple of tenths to maybe say 9/10 of a second. So incredibly close racing as we fast approach the conclusion of the first 10 minutes. As someone's... we've had a bit of a replay. That might be Pixley that's just had a bit of a moment there. Ran a bit wide, but he still keeps 8th position for the moment. As it looks like, I think Angus Martin and Tim Fulmgor probably might be working together a little bit here to try and get their way up the order. And Richard Emery, I'm looking at his lap times, well, Angus Martin has taken nearly half a second out of him in the process.
Yeah, he's certainly on the move, and he's not taking any prisoners. As you say, they could well be working together, Angus Martin, Tim Fulbrook, because they're doing very well in 6th and 7th at the moment. Richard Pixley's sort of 3 seconds behind him, but I think Haffenden he's certainly looking to make some moves. He's looking a bit frustrated at the moment. So yeah, great racing, fantastic driving from all of them.
Yeah, I think I might have just seen a move from a Ginetta just then. So... that was Alan Garland on, I think, Rhys Wiggins. So Alan's now up into 14th position. Haley's started to recover a little bit and move forward. And there he is, speak of the devil, and he doth appear in the number 24 Simply Racing Team Aston Martin on his Jack Jones this evening. James Ferguson. Oh, now someone's just run very, very wide. That could have been, I think, maybe... Milasinovic in the number 999 Mercedes that has just run wide. So still very, very close racing as we've just gone over the 10-minute mark. So we've got 34 minutes and 16 seconds still to go. But Ollie Gilles at the moment, I think, as James Ferguson said here, Steve, he is bossing it at the moment.
He is, but if you look at the timings at the moment, Daniel Jim has, on his last lap, did the fastest lap of the race with a 1:53.979. But you never thought I'd be saying this evening either. Ranjiv Kelsey was 100th of a second behind. So
you see, it's happened not just to me this evening.
He's absolutely on the pace tonight. He's Ranjiv. He's seen Daniels trying to catch him, and he's got the pedal down, and he's going. He's a quick boy tonight.
Stijn Paspont trying to go round the outside of Rhys Hodges, who's getting a little tap from behind as Alan Garden now joins the fray. Here's Steve Haley, and just up ahead they've got Michael Haffenden and Mark Neutlings. So it's getting very compact for the top 10, or roundabout sort of the bottom of the top 17.
And we've had some change at the front as well. Chris Pinchbeck is now down to 6th place. Ranjiv Kelsey back up to 2nd. Daniel Jim into 3rd. Well, not sure what's happened to Chris.
Well, also look what's happened to Mark Neuselings, because he's dropped 3 places. So Hafferden, Hodges, and Hafferden's got past him. Now Steen Passpont trying to get past the 666 Mercedes and does so through turn 2. Alan Garland now sees that the door was slightly open there, but I think Mark just went, I've had enough of people passing the roundabout now. This is getting frustrating. I'm sure that that's probably about the politically correct way of probably what he's thinking right now.
This is racing at its finest. When they're all nose to tail like this, as we're seeing, it takes one small mistake, one run wide, and it's not just one car that goes past you. Potentially it's 2 and maybe even 3. You know, that door that gets left open and away they go. So you're really fighting for your life when they're as close as this.
Yep. So the biggest person that really needs to... that was a send that was not really on. That has taken out Steve Haley. Steve Haley was compromised. He got turned around. So I think that might have been Adam Isalovic that went up, flying up the inside. And, well, that was a send that really wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, that should never have happened. There was something, obviously, missed his braking point, whatever, but I'm sure the stewards are going to be looking at that. The live steward in the background will be taking notes ready for the stewards debrief tomorrow evening. I'm sure there'll be some penalty handed out for that one. As we see, Daniel Jim is on the rear bumper of Kelsey now, and I'm sure he's going to try and move into T1 here. Keep an eye on it as he's tucked nicely into the slipstream, and he's getting ever closer. Is Ranj going to try and defend, or is he just going to leave the door open for him and think maybe this isn't my race? Yep. He's left the door. That was a smooth move. I mean, Ranjiv didn't really fight it, and it may be that he's thinking, you know what, I'm just where I am, and that's maybe not my race.
Yeah, very, very true indeed. So just over 30 minutes remaining. We've had some... and Andrew Fife says, where are the driving standards flags? That's all down to the system software through Assetto Corsa Competizione, if memory serves me correctly here, Steve. So now we see the replay. Yeah, it was. I think it was. That was Adam Isalovic. I'd recognise that livery anywhere. Excuse me for a second.
I'm not sure we need driving standards flags for that one, Andrew. I think we just need an exit, a door. There you go. Bye. See ya. That was. Yeah, it wasn't the greatest, but I'm sure Adam is normally a very, very clean driver, so I'm sure there was some mistake he's made and some issue he's had that's caused that. It's not just that wasn't just a send from Adam. That's not his style.
I mean, whether he's he's hit the brakes and the brakes haven't worked or something, you know, the brake pedal, the potentiometer on the pedal setup that he's got at home, you know, we've had it before where Chris Crossman, if anyone remembers Monza, Season 3 GT3, he had a pedal failure and all of a sudden Chris Pinchbeck had nowhere to go, avoided him, but then managed to, well, I think he clipped Chris and then it sent him spearing into the barrier on the left-hand side near the Rezzofilio chicane. So that's how dramatic it can get, as we both have seen in Simsport Racing. So whether there has been a technical problem, you know, it can be down to the slightest of lag or connection issue or even a connection between hardware equipment. That can happen. You know, I'm sure, as you say, Steve, I'm sure that Adam had no sort of bad meaning behind it, or he just got, I think he just, you know, there's so many different factors that you could surmise of, oh, it could have been this, it could have been that, it's coulda, woulda, shoulda, really, wouldn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. Just watching Tim Fulbrook now is looking to make a move, I believe, Angus Martin on Chris Pinchbeck. So Chris made that mistake and he's dropped right back down to Tim Fulbrook's clutches, which will be pleasing Tim. In the BMW, he's looks like he's hanging onto the back of Chris. So if Chris can put the laps in, they'll close up on Richard Emery, I'm sure, and we could have a sort of a four-way battle with Kelsey for the last podium.
Yeah, well, Fulbrook and Martin have been running within 6 1,000ths of each other on the last lap around. Pinchbeck a 154.252. Richard Emery a 154.684. Daniel Jim has just put in the fastest lap of the race, a 153.970. And look at the gap between him and Ollie Gill. At one point, it was 6.3 seconds. It is now 4.7. So Daniel Jim, I think, Steve, has got quite a lot of pace in that Aston Martin. I mean, he showed what he was capable of in the first race a week ago, but here he's now really got, I think he's got a bit more to grips with not just the Aston Martin, but also the circuit here in Barcelona.
Yeah, definitely. And his last lap was nearly a couple of seconds faster than Ollie's last lap. So whether Ollie had an incident or a run wide or something, but yeah, he's definitely going to be closing that gap up on him now. And once he gets within sniffing distance, shall we say, Daniel, we know the type of driver he is. He'll take an opportunity and he'll try and create an opportunity as well.
Yeah, very much the case. So we'll see what happens as there is Mark Roddenberry. Last week got engaged to his other half whilst they were down in Dorset, which he said, I'm looking forward to coming back this week. And it's good to see him now with his teammate Reece Hodges, and Reece is actually currently 11th at the moment. Mark Roddenberry closing on the 666 of Mark Neutelings in the Mercedes-AMG GT4 going through turns 1 and 2. The Audi looks a little bit more planted here in comparison with the Mercedes. As now Ben Holmes cheers on Mark Roddenberry, saying, come on, Radders, as they're going through turn 3. Really, really composed that Audi is at the moment, isn't it?
It is, yeah. It looks very settled, and he's just putting the laps in and doing what he has to do. We were taking the mickey a little bit out of Mr. Roddenberry when he came back, saying that his new teammate is better than him. So he's, Mr. Roddenberry's potentially the team owner, but he's certainly driver number 2 at the moment, as Mr. Hodges is up there in 11th place in front of him. So yeah, team honours are a battle there for Mark there.
Yeah, so the gap between Ollie Gill and Daniel Jim has now dropped to just over 3.6 seconds. As Ben Holmes says, taking the mickey out of Radders is a national part-time. I can't say exactly the 4-letter word that he used because we are ahead of the watershed. But for those that are probably watching the YouTube channel, you can probably see it right now as we go on board with Mark Roddenberry. And he's closing up on the back bumper once again of Mark Neutelings. And you can just see how much of a tighter apex that Roddenberry takes, whereas Neutelings is trying to get the power down a little bit early. They're going through through into the RACC chicane before into the New Holland corner, which brings them onto the start-finish straight here. So nearly at 20 minutes completed, just over 25 minutes remaining.
Yeah, and just up at the front, as I was just going to say, Chris Pinchbeck is lapping reasonably quickly and closing the gap on Richard Emery. As we can see now, he's all but closed the gap down, so he's going to be looking to put a move in as soon as he can and try and get back up to that 3rd place. And well, he lost 2nd place. I'm not sure he's going to regain that now. Daniel Jim will take some catching, and Ollie's certainly doing a sterling job out in the lead. He's just led from the lights pretty much, and since the front 2 drivers took the drive-through and gave Ollie the lead, and he's not looking like losing it anytime soon. No,
good to see a little bit more colour on the sides and the front bonnet of Stin Paspont's car. Obviously, we saw that very stealth black, and good to see a new livery for the 444 Ginetta G55, as here is Chris Pinchbeck. And I've just been looking at the lap times here. Chris Pinchbeck last time around did a 1:54.5. Richard Emery a 1:56.2. So we know that Chris is going to be trying to do his utmost. But look at not too far behind. Even though Chris Pinchbeck is trying to get past Richard Emery at the moment, you've got Angus Martin and Tim Fulbrook. They're still within a second of each other out on the circuit. And last time around, just seeing who went quickest, well, between the pair of them, Angus Martin, they're running on pretty much consistent lap times. It was a 1:55.374 from Martin, a 1:55.380 from Fulbrook. So they're running literally on synchronized pace here at the moment. As the gap now, Ollie Gill could have a fright on his hands, as now we go on board with Stephen Haley, and this is actually the view that he sees. He's using a virtual reality headset. He's currently up into, I think he's going to be up into 14th very, very shortly. Now he's trying to get past, I think that is Neutelings, isn't it? That he's trying to get up the inside of. It looks to be the case.
Yeah, it is, yeah. Yeah, it's Mark.
So he's getting a good run on the Mercedes. Neutelings cuts the door or cuts the door off effectively, and doesn't allow Haley to get through. But the Aston Martin gets better traction through turn 2, now into the corner known as 3, or Huno, more commonly known. And James Ferguson is saying to Ollie Gill, block Daniel, Ollie, block him. Well, there's only so much manoeuvrability you can do. Just remember, this is actually taken under real race conditions. So we keep things very firm but very fair in terms of stewarding and race decisions. As up the inside, Neutlings again back past Stephen Haley. So this is an almighty tussle. And I'm kind of wondering whether Stephen Haley thought, well, I might have a good run on people this evening, but Mark Neutlings is sort of like saying, oh, no, you don't, sunshine. You are not getting past yet.
No, he's not going to give up easily, isn't Mark? He'll make him race for that position, and rightly so. You know, he's fighting for position, and then there's got no need to let him by. But yeah, Pinchbeck looks like he's trying to make the move and got that job done.
Yeah, as we now head back to Haley and Neutlings, and Haley now gets the run this time that he so desperately needed, and he gets past the Mercedes with the consummate amount of ease, due to Mark Neutlings actually running wide, as there's an Audi just up ahead. And that is Reece. Is that Reece Hodges? That is Reece Hodges. So Reece Hodges now coming out of fire from the championship leader into the RACC chicane through into New Holland. So now one driver gave him an opportunity, and I think realistically that we'll have an opportunity here of how quickly Stephen Haley is going to try and go up the inside. But here, now, this is what happened. This is between... Oh, Stijn Paspont's turned him around. Was it? No, no, hang on. That was Richard Pitt. Well, hang on. What number was that on the side? I was trying to make out. Was that Stijn Paspont, I think?
I'd have to see that again. To be definite on that one.
So... yeah, very, very interesting indeed. 20 minutes and 50 seconds to go. Everyone is all out for themselves. So let's have a look. It was Stijn Paspont. I was right the first time. So, yeah, a little bit of a touch on the inside, and it sent Reece Hodges off, as that's Hodges off again, and Mark Ranenbury. Now, the good thing about the two Audis is you can tell who's got the black alloys and who's got the white alloys. So, unlike wing mirrors on certain cars with liveries, big thank you to Team Express UK for deciding that the boss is going to have white wheels on his car, and Reece Hodges, who's now down in effectively what is going to be 18th position. 15th according to the screen, as there's a Porsche just behind. That is Reece Smith in the 76 with the shake and bake on the doors. As here goes the battle for the lead. Is Porsche versus Aston Martin. Ollie Gill coming under fire. Daniel Jim just to around the outside as they head into turn 1. And that was pretty much, I think, Ollie Gill knowing that Daniel Jim was going to fly past him at a moment's notice.
Yeah, absolutely got that job done, didn't he? Chris Crossman spotted that earlier. He said, get the Jaws music on, Jim's coming for Gill. And also supporting Ranj. Come on, Ranj, get this podium. And yeah, it'd be nice to see Ranj on the podium. He's a driver that would deserve it. But Mr. Pinchbeck's going to try and stop that. And he's lapping faster. His last lap was a second faster than Ranj's. So he just needs to, keep his head down. But catching's one thing, passing's another. Reece
Hodges in, the front of that Audi, very much battle scarred, as he just literally straight lined through turns 1 and 2 on the rumble strips. I think he just outbroke himself there, as Mark Ranenbury now trying to close up on the two in front, one of which is Rich Smith, the other one is Reece Hodges, and just up the road is the number 666 of Mark Neutlings, whereas Steve Haley's got away in the distance, as now Emery... so Pinchbeck ran wide there, and Emery managed to get back past. So the Audi trying to put a little bit of a spoiler on the Porsche party, isn't he?
He is absolutely, and Chris, as I was saying there, he was lapping faster than Ranj to close the gap down, goes and makes a mistake, so obviously he's pushing, as you know, he's on the limit, he's pushing as hard as he can, and that's leading to these little mistakes that he's making, and unfortunately Richard Emery was there to pounce, take the position back, and now Chris has got it all to do again now, but with less time to do it in, so let's see if he can keep those lap times going and get back into P4.
But in the meantime, keep an eye on Tim Fulbrook in the 8-6. Now, look at this. An HF Impala, 6, 7, and 8. Now, here's the... So, well, Pinchbeck ran a little bit wide. Emery went steaming up the inside. So, Fulbrook, Martin, and Haffenden make it a trio of BMWs in 6th, 7th, and 8th. And I'm looking at the times now. Chris Pinchbeck, last time around here, Steve... the 1:56.496. Tim Fulbrook, 0.209 tenths of a second quicker. That BMW is coming more and more alive as this race progresses. And he's also bringing along Angus Martin for the party as well.
He is, but let's not forget Chris's mistake in the last lap that's probably led to that slower lap time. So I think if Chris can clear Richard Emery, Chris is safe from the BMWs. But I'm not so sure about Richard Emery. The BMs could catch him. But yeah, Chris has got to get past Rich. He's certainly putting the pressure on him now, and he's weaving around a little bit behind him, letting him know he's there, and trying to intimidate him to leave the door open for him.
Well, he's hoping that Chris Crossman might be playing the Jaws music in his earphones at the moment as we say that. So we're getting towards the conclusion of the second third of this race as Pinchbeck right on the back bumper of Richard Emery in the battle for fourth position, and just over half a second up the road is Ranjiv Kalsi. Is up the inside goes Chris Pinchbeck. Will he get the move done on the apex? The pair are side by side. Oh, but through into the chicane, Richard Emery gets the advantage back in his favour once more. But Chris Pinchbeck, we know how competitive this individual is in the 43. He will not give up as they go through into the RACC chicane before they go through the right-hander at New Holland. And I'm just looking at what's going on. Angus Martin, I think, has now repassed Tim Fulbrook for 6th place as Pinchbeck now gets the slipstream assist going across the start-finish line. Just under 16 minutes to go. And Daniel Jim leading the way. He's got over a 2.2 second gap ahead of Ollie Gill, Ranjiv Kalsi, Richard Emery, Chris Pinchbeck, Tim Fulbrook, Angus Martin, Michael Haffenden, Alan Garland, and Andrew Amber, and the number 31 Aston Martin round out the top 10. Then it's Pixley, Passpont, Haley, Neuterlings, Hodges, Smith, Isolovich, Wiggin, Ranbury, Aegis rounding out the top 20 with Milasinovic, Fife and Hill rounding out the 23, showing on the timing screens. But Ollie Gill has started responding back to Daniel Jim. He's just taken over 0.2 of a second out of him on that. Well, no, the lap time, it's 1:54.246 for Daniel Jim, I think, on the last lap. It was a 1:55.611 for Ollie Gill, but the gap has now sort of started to stabilise a little bit, around 2 seconds between the pair as we go on board with Chris Pinchbeck. And there's a nice little battle down in the right-hand corner there. I think that's Michael Haffenden and Alan Garland battling over 8th position. So it's BMW versus Ginetta.
I was just going to say that, I was going to mention that because Alan's closed up over half a second in one lap. So he's certainly a man on the charge, and yeah, Michael's going to do well to keep him behind, but I'm sure he's not going to make it easy.
Mistake from Emery there. He just ran wide. I think he might have just locked up the brakes there. So the Audi ran wide, and then all of a sudden, Chris Pinchbeck now looks to be up into 4th position as Alan Garland in the same machinery. Let's not forget that Michael Haffenden and Tim Fulbrook ran in the inaugural season. They ran with the Ginettas, and Alan, I do like the fact of the, you look under his name on the screen in the bottom right-hand corner, he's got Street Weapon on there. And he's using it like he's driving it like he stole it. He's trying to catch up. So here is what happened between, now this is Stephen Haley and Steen Passpont. So Haley went up the inside. I think he had the move pretty much done, and Passpont, I think, slightly turned in there. But Haley ran a little bit wide, so they sort of clattered into each other a little bit. But
Yeah,
you know,
that was just a racing incident. 'Cause
Yeah.
Haley had the job done, and it was all clean. Was that? But yeah, I mean, Alan Garland really putting the pressure on Haffenden here now, and we saw last time out how tenacious Alan Garland can be in that Ginetta. He's like a dog with the bone. He won't give up, and he'll keep hounding until he potentially gets the job done. Haffenden will certainly be feeling the pressure now and looking in his mirrors.
Yep, so this is the battle over 8th position. And at the moment, Steve Haley, I think, is still, I think he's in 12th place. So he's got 3.2 seconds to find if he wants to catch up in the next 13 minutes on Richard Pixley. As Garland, again, looks to have a good run of momentum here. But Haffenden, feeling the pressure, is still placing the BMW where he needs to place it. So it doesn't really give the window of opportunity that Alan Garland needs to get past. But if it's an unforced error from the BMW driver, from HF Impala, what will happen is that Garland will be up there quicker than a rat up a drain pipe.
Let's not forget, though, that Michael was driving the Ginetta for last season, so he knows what that car can do. He knows how good it is out the corners. He knows where it's going to be strong. So he'll have a good idea of where to defend and how to defend against it. So yeah, Alan's going to certainly struggle. I won't say he won't do it. He'll keep going at him, but he's going to struggle.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, if anyone remembers Kyle Army in season 1, Michael Haffenden was a perfect example on how to use the Ginetta to its absolute optimum. And you did say, obviously, when we started GT4 Season 2, Steve, that Alan has made his return back to us here at Simsport Racing. And it's great to see him sort of challenging at the sharp end of the grid, within the top 10. And great to see him sort of driving against new competitors that have joined us, such as Michael and Tim. This is their second season of competition with us here in GT4. I hope that HF Impala decides to make the move at one point to join us in GT3. Now, that would be something quite interesting as well. But 11 and a half minutes to go. The gap between Daniel Jim and Ollie Geel now nearly 3 seconds. Ranjith Kelsey at the moment still hanging on to the final step of the rostrum as Garland goes really deep on the brakes, right up. Now, this is a great camera angle. A big thank you to Mike Yao from Simply Race, who is our broadcast director. He's bringing out some fantastic camera angles right by the exhaust pipes of the BMW M4 GT4 as Garland again gets another run on Haffenden, but can't get past. Oh, you were spot on with your analysis there, Steve, that Alan will try and push through the corners, but then on the sheer pace of the car, the M4 has a little bit of the legs on the Ginetta.
He has, yeah. Like I say, Michael will know when he's got to defend, and he'll know when he can just take his line to maintain the lap times. I'm just having a feeling of deja vu because I'm seeing Pinchbeck back down in 5th with Richard Emery now, I believe, moved up to 3rd place on my timing screen, ahead of Christopher, ahead of Richard Emery, ahead of Ranjith Kelsey, ahead of Christopher Pinchbeck. So I'm wondering if Christopher's made another mistake in his attempts to push on ever harder.
Yeah, I think the lap times say it all. A 157.1 from the number 43. And Ranjith Kelsey, he had a bad lap as well, a 156.3. I think you're very much right in your estimation there. And there it is confirmed that Emery now holds the final step on the rostrum as we head into the final 10 minutes. But Daniel Jim, yet again, now this will mean that he will effectively take the standings lead, because where's Steve Haley at the moment? Down in 12th position.
Yeah, it's been an absolutely fantastic race so far for Daniel. Obviously, it's not over yet. There's just under 10 minutes left to go, but he'll be happy with where he is now, and he'll just be looking to bring it home in first place. And obviously, like you say, he will take the lead of the championship. Steve won't be too disheartened with 12th as he is at the minute. He wanted 10th place. He's obviously had some incidents that are beyond his control. As we see Alan Garland going up the inside there, and yes, he's got that job done.
Yeah, but also, Steve, this is, I think, a first for us here at Simsport Racing. We have 2 drivers in the same race that have set exactly the same fastest lap. It's Daniel Jim and Steve Haley, 153.970, and Haley's just put that in on the 18th lap of the race. So Steve Haley wants to get that 10th position, as now Ranjith Kelsey closing on the back bumper of Richard Emery. The Porsche trying to go up the inside of the Audi into the next corner. Kelsey might hopefully have the move done, or does he? No, he doesn't, but still Emery trying to cut across the front of the Porsche. Oh, that was definitely close than I think anyone would have liked, especially for Ranjiv Kelsey. I think Ranjiv probably just went, oh, brakes.
Yeah,
and what that's allowing is Pinchbeck is right behind them now, is Stephen Haley trying to get his way past Andrew Ambro for 11th position, not too far ahead, Richard Pixley. So that 10th place for Stephen Haley here, Steve, looks very, very achievable indeed.
It does indeed. I mean, just going back to Ranjiv's move there on Richard, or attempted move, yeah, we saw Chris Pinchbeck try to do exactly the same thing. Richard Emery's got that move covered in that corner. You've got to be a lot deeper on the brakes and get a lot further past him to get that move done, because he's obviously, you go into the next corner and he's then got the inside line for the next 2 corners. So he had that covered all the way. Good driving from Ranjiv though to realise when he wasn't going to get the move done. As we look, we're on board now with Stephen Haley with his VR headset again, looking to get the move done.
Yeah. And it looks very, very close indeed. But Steve Haley yet to try and... Well, he's doing his best to get past Andrew Ambro, but it's not quite happening yet, as Pinchbeck and Kelsey quickly go side by side, as we've got 7.5 minutes on the clock still to go. Ambro going defensive on Haley in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen. This could allow Steen Passpont the opportunity he might need to get towards the top 10. But in many respects here, Richard Pixley, as they're battling away, Haley gets up the inside of Ambro, who actually runs a little bit wide going through the corner as they go down the hill. So Steve Haley now has a bit of clean air. He can now push and go for Pixley and go for that top 10.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and as you see, I mean, Ranjiv's doing really well to be able to keep focus on Richard Emery up ahead while keeping one eye on the mirror with Chris Pinchbeck in there, and it's not really slowing him down too much. He is still keeping in touch with Richard Emery, because obviously the danger is, as he starts to defend from Pinchbeck, that Emery gets away from them both.
Yeah, so Emery, Halsey and Pinchbeck make their way through the RACC chicane. Haley, in the meantime, has been closing on Pixley for 10th position. The Aston Martin looks to be coming a bit more to Stephen Haley, as towards the outside of Ranjiv Kelsey goes Chris Pinchbeck. The 2 Porsches side by side down the main straightaway, heading into turn 1. Pinchbeck gets the move done on Kelsey, goes straight on the defensive. Nicely done there by the 43. Yeah,
Ranjiv unfortunately ran wide on the last turn onto the start finish, just took a bit of gravel which will have scrubbed a bit of speed off him, and that just gave Pinchbeck the opportunity that he needed to get a bit more top speed and get past him there. So he'll now get his head down and try and get past, catch up to Emery again. That final spot on the podium isn't decided yet.
No, with those 3 being covered by, what is it, just over 1.3 seconds. In the latter stages, as Alan Garland has got past Michael Haffenden. Now he's trying to get past another of the BMWs. This time, Angus Martin in 7th position in the 863 M4 GT4. That's a real good run for the 101 Ginetta, going towards the inside, but for the next corner, looks like Martin has a good measure going through the chicane, but Garland powers out nice and cleanly there. He looks towards the inside of the BMW yet again, but this is bringing Michael Haffenden back into this battle. So this is a 3-way scrap over 7th position with Tim Fulbrook a little bit further up the road there.
Yeah, I did say Alan Garland was a little bit tenacious, didn't I? And he certainly he's snapping at the heels of that BMW of Angus's, and he's going to be looking to put another move on him. And obviously he's just managed to get the move done on one BMW, so he'll have a good idea of what he needs to do.
Yeah, so... getting to the last few throws of this race here at Circuit de Catalunya, Barcelona, and in many respects it's been quite entertaining all the way through so far. John Aegis, who started on reverse grid pole, just has Mark Neutelings for company just up ahead in the 666 Mercedes AMG GT4. Garland getting pressurised now, this time by Haffenden. And Haffenden powers past, gets into turn 1. Garland looks towards the inside, but Haffenden has it closed off. Yeah, so that's nicely done there.
The superior speed of the BMW coming into play there, and obviously the Ginetta, we know it lacks a little bit of top speed, so obviously Huffenden was just close enough at the start of that straight to get the job done by the end of it. Great move.
Yep, as Age is still trying to close in on Neuteling's 3 minutes and 38 seconds still to go in this race. And the gap that Daniel Jim in the 71 Aston Martin has is quite considerable. I think I counted around about sort of 6+ seconds there. We'll make that 5.5, nearly 5.5 seconds as we go on board back with Chris Pinchbeck. You did say this battle for third place. The final step on the rostrum isn't quite over yet. Richard Emery is just under a 1/10.5 ahead. Run wide there by Emery. Pinchbeck goes towards the inside, the pair clash door panels. But Emery, he was lucky with that one. He really, really was.
Yeah, he was lucky to maintain position. I was just going to say that we've got Emery, Pinchbeck and Kelsey, and to be honest, any of these three on the podium, I'd be happy to see that. They've all raced really hard this race. They all deserve it, to be fair. It's going to be a shame that there's only room for one of them. I almost wish this was the battle for first, second and third, to be fair. But great battling. Emery was very lucky, but Pinchbeck won't give up now. He knows he's got him rattled by that mistake Emery made, and he'll just keep... We'll keep on at the back of Emery now and try and make him make a bigger mistake and allow him to get through.
Yeah, I completely agree there, Steve. As through into turn one they go. Pinchbeck are on the back bumper of Emery. Through into left-hander at turn two. Now they're going to go through three. Pinchbeck puts it towards the outside to get the cut back through. And this is where it can make all the difference. That's a great manoeuvre there. Well timed there by Chris Pinchbeck. But does he get the late brakes on that one? He does, going through. Repsol runs a little bit wide. Emery up the inside. And here comes Ranjiv Kelsey trying to get his nose well and truly stuck in. But Pinchbeck through into set has got the move done. Yeah, that was brilliantly held by both Pinchbeck and Emery. And Ranjiv Kelsey has come right back into this three-way scrap for the final step on the rostrum.
Pinchbeck knew what he wanted to do. He was planning that on the way down the straight. I think he knew where he was going to do that, and just how he was going to do it. It was well planned, was that, and carried it out perfectly.
Well, in the meantime, Michael Huffenden is now ahead of Alan Garland, with Angus Martin rounding out the top 9 positions. A great effort from Tim Fulbrook so far, as Pinchbeck. Oh no, Emery up has now been has got Kelsey going up the inside of him. And it looks like the 47's made the move past. Does he get it through on the next apex? Yes. So Emery, within the last few corners, within about half a lap, he's gone from third to 5th position. Just under 60 seconds to go plus. So if our leader crosses the lap this time around, so Daniel Jim, I think, has already crossed the line. We'll be on to the 24th and final lap on this particular occasion. And he's got a 6.1 second lead over Ollie Gill. Chris Pinchbeck in third. Richard Emery, Ranjiv Kelsey rounds out the top 5 positions as Alan Garland looking to close up on Michael Huffenden as they now go onto their final lap of this race. And next up in a week's time, we'll be heading to the mountain, Mount Panorama at Bathurst in New South Wales in Australia, or the halfway point. But this battle still rages on for P3. Pinchbeck in the 43 ahead of Kelsey in the 47, with Richard Emery rounding out the top 5 places, as we now see Daniel Jim getting towards, I think, the conclusion of the lap. He's going up towards the far part of the circuit, and very shortly we'll see him head down the hill, down into the RACC chicane and into New Holland for the final time. It's been a brilliant job by the number 71 Aston Martin driver. So he's now going through.
He's driven faultlessly, hasn't he? He's done all the hard work right at the beginning of the race. He managed to take advantage of a few incidents and things and keep his nose clean and just avoid them. He was very quickly up into the top 10. He worked hard, put some laps in, got some moves done. And he fully deserves this win. Absolutely well driven and great to see. Fantastic driving.
So, not too far to go now. 0 on the timer. The headlights flashing on the number 71 Aston Martin of Daniel Jim, who wins Barcelona. Round 2 of GT4 Season 2 with an absolutely dominant display and, provisionally speaking, takes the lead in the standings. Ollie Gill takes second, but it looks like the run to the line is going to be won for the final step on the rostrum by Chris Pinchbeck in the 43 Porsche 718 Cayman. He takes third as Alan Garland and Michael Haffenden going through the exit of the RACC chicane nearly side by side, but Haffenden will get the jump on the 101. So Kelsey takes fourth, Emery takes fifth, Fulbrook, Haffenden, Garland and Martin, with Steve Haley taking that position that he wanted. Wanted 10th, he got 10th. He finished ahead of Richard Pixley. Rich Smith will round out the top 12. Reese Wiggin, now drama for Adam Isalovic coming out of the final corner. And he crosses the line in 16th. He might have just had the car was either sipping fuel or he must have had an issue. Here comes Cameron Fife in the number 13 Janetta. He'll cross the line to finish in 20th position as John Aegis rounds out the top 15 ahead of Adam Isalovic, Steen Paspont, Sritan Milasinovic, Mark Raddenbury, Cameron Fife. Looks like Christian Hill and Mark Neutlings round out the top 22 positions. But what a race.
Yeah, absolutely awesome. I mean, normally you can pick a driver of the day. I won't say easily, but usually there's a standout one and you go with it. But for me, it's difficult tonight. But I have to say, for me, Ranjiv Kelsey is my driver, personally my driver of the day.
You know what? For the amount of times he's impressed us, and especially in this race, he was giving Emery and Pinchbeck a lot to think about realistically. But wow, that's round 2 here at Barcelona, 45-minute reverse grid race, and that kept us enthralled the whole way through. So for those wondering about the remainder of the calendar, here it is. The 23rd of September, Mount Panorama, Bathurst. The 30th of September, we head to Circuit Zandvoort in the Netherlands. Kyalami in South Africa will be the penultimate round on the 7th of October, with WeatherTech Raceway, Laguna Seca on the 14th of October being the place where we crown a Season 2 champion. Will it be Aaron Walker? Will someone else take the mantle of GT4 champion here in Simsport Racing? So let's see. I think I've got some drivers heading down to the interview booth, so I'm going to go down and have a chat with them. I'll be back with you in a moment, Steve.
No problem.
Hello.
So first things first, let's speak to our round 2 winner, Daniel Jim, and the number Martin. Daniel, you now provisionally take the standings lead this evening, but that was a brilliant drive. A great battle between you and Ollie in the initial phases, but you literally you got past him and started driving away. That must be a good feeling after 45 minutes of racing here at Barcelona.
Okay, hi all. Sorry for my English. It's very good. I'm very happy for this race. For me, una surprise. Realmente win in my country. Congratulations at all pilots. I'm very happy. Thank you.
No problem.
Mate. Well done.
Muchas gracias, as they say in Barcelona. So Daniel is our round 2 victor. Ollie Gill, our runner-up this round. Ollie, a really, really good start from yourself. Obviously starting from the front of the grid does, close to the front of the grid, it has its advantages. But, you got away into the lead of the race, and then Daniel just sort of caught you up hand over fist. Must have been a good feeling to finish up second to someone as accomplished as Daniel, who put in an absolutely brilliant performance this evening.
Yeah, definitely happy with that. I think at the start of a race, the C's parted for me. I'm not sure what happened 1 and 2. I think they got a drive through. After that, it was
that was for jumps infringement. So like literally they bolted and they ended up in the pits. So
that was a nice trip into the lead for me, and then it was just trying to keep a gap or pull away from second. as soon as Daniel got behind me, I could see him closing in on me, and unfortunately, he was just that little too fast for me today.
Yeah, I completely agree, but still a very, very, very from yourself there, Ollie. So well done for second here tonight.
Thanks very much.
Round 2. Right, Chris Pinchback.
Hello.
That was one heck of a battle between you, Ranjiv Kalsi and Richard Emery all the way through that race. I think myself and Steve were running out of possible statements to just how captivated we were in that. But to get third place in the end of it, mate, well done. Great job.
I'm chuffed to bits. I couldn't have made that any more difficult for myself if I tried.
I think Ranjiv and Richard weren't making it easy.
No, definitely not. I think me and Rich had a few touches, but it wasn't anything that was sort of untoward or anything.
But still, it was a lot. You know, the GT4s coming into Simsport sort of brought a new dimension to it, and it must be nice to sort of have to race something a bit different from an Audi R8, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a bit different. It reacts a lot more different than I'm used to, put it that way.
Well, Chris, congratulations on your third place here tonight at Barcelona. Well done.
Thank you very much. Thanks, Alex.
Right, well, we've got him in anyhow. Ranjiv Kalsi, effectively, through both myself and Steve, we've sort of like nominated you as the unofficial driver of the day. But well done, mate. 4th place at the end of all of that. But you know, that 3rd place, that was one step away from you there, wasn't it, mate?
I'm really happy. I mean, I did start towards the front, but yeah, really, really happy with the result, and a nice battling with Chris. I mean, Chris is always helping me out, giving me pointers and points of turning, braking, and sort of like my coach, and to make life difficult to him. To make life difficult.
We got that on air.
Yeah, it was really good, to be honest. I couldn't have asked for it was a really, between the three of us, it was really close, and the fact that I didn't fluff it, I'm really happy.
Well, Ranj, great job, mate. Well done. 4th place. So all the very best of luck in weeks. Next week when we head to our next destination, which is the mountain, Mount Panorama. You looking forward to that one?
Yes, definitely. Thank you very much, guys.
No problem at all.
Well done, Ranj.
Well, that was really, really good to hear from all of them, Steve. Apologies for those people. Yes, it was someone switched on the oven behind me, and the alarm did go off. So I did actually have to send a WhatsApp upstairs saying, "Buzzer." You know, we are virtually commentating from. We're virtually in the commentary box here in Spain, but we're actually at our homes at the moment. But you know, all in all, really, really good to hear. From everyone, including Daniel. Obviously, English not his best language, but really, really good to hear from him, and that he was really happy, and he said, well done to everybody. And that just shows the true class of the drivers that we have here in Simsport.
Yeah, it's the class of the drivers, it's the community. You know, it was really nice words from Ranj there. You know, I remember when Ranj joined our community, and, you know, no disrespect to the guy, but when we were racing after sort of on the 3rd, 4th lap of a race, you were almost lapping him. And through coaching, as he pointed out there, from people like Chris and other guys on the grid, he's now a podium contender, because he fully deserved to be on the podium tonight. He drove his heart out, he defended hard, he attacked hard, he just drove consistently, and you know, he did really, really well. So yeah, it's good. Great racing, and the GT4s have yet again shown to be a fantastic class to watch.
Well, that is it from us here at Circuit de Catalunya, Barcelona. But we head to the mountain, Mount Panorama, Bathurst, New South Wales, in just a week's time for the halfway point of the season. Steve, but don't forget, if you have got the opportunity to join us on the Nürburgring 12-hour endurance on October 3rd, there are still GT4 spots available. I think there are still, if memory serves me correctly, Steve.
There are indeed. We're looking for some GT4 drivers to join up and see if you can tackle the 12 hours of Nürburgring in teams of 2, 3 or 4 drivers. So yeah, it'd be great to have a few more on board, and maybe another half a dozen spots or so for the GT4s.
Yeah, so don't forget, head to simsport-racing.com. You'll see you'll see the word Nürburgring in the top right-hand corner of the website. Click on there; it'll give you all the information you need to know. You'll also see all our social media posts, so Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Please give us a like, please give us a follow. And whilst you're at it, if you're watching on the Simsport Racing channel, why not subscribe to the channel, hit the thumbs up to like this video, and also hit the notification bell whilst you're at it. So on behalf of myself and Steve Proudly, thank you ever so much for watching what's been an interesting Spanish siesta for round 2 here for GT4 Season 2. We'll see you in a week's time as we head to the mountain in New South Wales in Australia. Thanks for watching. Good night.